Today we're going to talk about how to deal with a breakup. Now, I actually got the idea for this video based on a comment that we had in our private Facebook support group from a woman who was going through our program who originally wanted to try to get her ex back, but decided she didn't want to anymore. And I thought to myself, what would my best advice be for someone who's just going through a breakup and doesn't know what they want to do? They don't know if they want to just try to move on from the breakup, or they don't know if they want to try to get their ex back. Now, generally what I do when I encounter people who have this confusion is to point them to our quiz on our website, www.exboyfriendrecovery.com. It's called the Ex Recovery Chances Quiz, and it tells you what kind of chance you have of getting your ex back, so you know whether or not you're wasting your time. Now, if you want to take that quiz, all you got to do is simply look in the description link below this YouTube video and click it. It's that simple. But overall, I wanted to come up with a framework for anyone who's confused about what they should be doing after a breakup to give them the best chance to both move on and even reattract their ex if that's what they want to do. And it's interesting. For the past 3 weeks, I've been interviewing success story after success story after success story. Basically, people who are going through our program and getting their exes back. I don't care if they followed my advice or if they disagree with what I have to say. What I'm interested in is what they did to get their ex back, because I'm looking to see if there's some key mentality or strategy that they're using that I'm missing. So ultimately, after interviewing so many of these success stories, I began to notice a key pattern developing. Well, not necessarily a pattern, but more so a mentality that these women have after they go through these breakups. And the key mentality that these women have is they get emotional control after the breakup. To make matters even more interesting, you remember that comment I was talking about at the beginning of the video? Well, here it is. Day 45. When I first started this program, I knew for sure that I wanted my ERP ex back, and I felt confident that I would get him back. Originally, I was going to text him tomorrow. I had no idea how I would get to today. Now, I'm still healing, but I've realized that my ERP ex is a narcissist. He love bombed me and then gaslighted me when he got distant, lied, and ignored me. He has not reached out, and I am not surprised. I don't want him back. I deserve better. I've been learning about who really cares about me. I've had old friends reach out, and I've been seeing a new man that absolutely adores me. I don't have to question how he feels about me. I deleted my ex's number on Saturday. I don't know what to say except this is what I got out of this program. If I had to give someone advice just starting out, I would say that I know it really hurts right now, but stay strong. Be honest about your relationship with your ex and be true to yourself. Best wishes. So, I get that comment today, and I asked her what she thought the most important factor was to sort of getting over her ex or obtaining this new lease on life. Here's what she had to say. Hey Chris Seiter, big question. Several things played into this, but I think the most important thing for me was gaining the emotional control after the breakup, which I did not have during the relationship or even the breakup. No contact allowed me to see clearly that my relationship with him was toxic. So, there it is again, emotional control, something that I've noticed many of my other success stories, except these women had gotten their exes back, cited as essential to their success. So what is it that we can take from this emotional control concept and use in a direct strategy if you don't know what to do with your ex or about your breakup? How can you get in a better place emotionally from where you are right now just reeling from the breakup? Well, I've got some advice for you. Tip number 1, the no contact rule. So if you don't know me, my name is Chris Seiter. I'm a professional relationship consultant, and one of the most important strategies that I talk about time and time again after a breakup is the no contact rule. Essentially, it's a 21 to 45 day period where you purposely ignore your ex no matter the circumstance. Well, that's not exactly true. There are a few circumstances where you have to alter the no contact rule, but generally speaking, you ignore them. That means if they reach out to you, you don't say anything to them. If you have the urge to reach out, you suppress that urge until your no contact period is over. Now, usually when people hear about the strategy, the only thing they think about is the fact that by doing this, it will make their ex miss them. And there is some psychological concepts that prove that point is technically true. In fact, one of the most important psychological concepts you need to wrap your head around is the theory of reactance. Basically, if you ignore or take away someone's behavioral freedoms, they're going to react in a way to try to reobtain that freedom. By using the no contact rule, you take away your ex's behavioral freedoms of having a conversation with you. So it makes sense that they would want to try to get that conversation back by contacting you or calling you or showing up at your doorstep. And over the years, we've found this behavior is true. We've also found that most exes actually don't do this. They're stubborn and they get angry. So why is it that we still recommend the no contact rule in these circumstances? Well, because it acts as a reset button that allows you to use your time wisely. But what should you be using your time on? Well, if you were to ask me what the biggest difference is between our success stories and the people who don't succeed, it would be this right here. They use their time during no contact to reinvent themselves. I'm not saying they change their personalities or anything like that, but they maximize their potential to its fullest. Tip number 2, utilize the Holy Trinity during the no contact rule. Now, if you were expecting the Holy Trinity to come from the Bible or be something biblical, it's not. To be honest with you, I'm not in love with the terminology of the Holy Trinity, but it kind of caught on. When I first started my website, Ex-Boyfriend Recovery, I mentioned the Holy Trinity, and it just kind of went viral within the community, and so here we are, I'm stuck with it. So the Holy Trinity is talking about the 3 most important areas of your life. So if you go through a no contact rule, these are the 3 areas of your life you really need to focus on: your health, wealth, and relationships. And health, wealth, and relationships have many different subcategories held within each specific parent category, if you will. The other interesting thing about the Holy Trinity is that there's this symbiotic relationship between all 3 areas. You'll notice sometimes that if your relationships takes a negative hit, your health and wealth will as well. But the reverse is also true. If your health and wealth take a positive hit, your relationships will take a positive hit as well. Symbiotic. And you may not even be aware of this concept in your own life, but I'll give you an example. You go through a breakup and it's devastating to you. It's so devastating that you decide you're going to eat your feelings. You decide you're going to eat ice cream every day for 7 days straight to make yourself feel better. As a result, you gain 10 pounds. Uh-oh, all of a sudden your health aspects have been negatively impacted. The fact that your health has been negatively impacted and you feel more self-conscious about yourself, you don't do such a great job at work. You go to work kind of feeling sad, you leave work a little bit early, you're having trouble concentrating because you're thinking about your ex so much, and all of a sudden your boss pulls you into his office and yells at you. Uh-oh, now wealth is being negatively impacted. But of course, like I said, the reverse is also true. If your relationships have taken a big hit, there is a way to rebuild it. And the no contact rule is the perfect proving ground to make that happen. By focusing on your health and wealth, you can actually impact your relationships positively. And just so you know, relationships doesn't just define romantic relationships. It also defines any relationship you have in your life. Friends, family, work colleagues, you name it. So there are different subsets of relationships that you can work on as well. Now, speaking of relationships, we found some really interesting things about rebound relationships. Tip number 3. Utilize rebound relationships the right way. Now, a few years ago, I stumbled across this article on Psychology Today when I was researching rebound relationships. Ultimately, the thing I was trying to understand was, does getting into a rebound relationship actually help you move on from your ex? Here's what I found. According to Psychology Today, focusing on someone new, according to limited research on the subject of rebound relationships, can help a person recover from a breakup. So, for the longest time, this played out in my head. I would tell my clients, look, actually sometimes going on dates can help you get over the person you're thinking about. That was until I found research today that kind of creates a paradox. According to a different Psychology Today article, recent research conducted by my colleague Stephanie Spielmann, myself, and our collaborators showed that an unrewarding rebound relationship can actually lead people to feel more attached to their ex-partners rather than less. So, what does this tell us? Well, it tells us that if you actually move on and get into a rebound relationship with someone new, but that new relationship doesn't really fulfill you, it's gonna make you more attached to your ex. ex, which directly contradicts the other Psychology Today article that says getting into a rebound relationship can actually help you move on from your ex. So what's the truth? Well, I think you need to get down into the details. The important thing to realize is that one Psychology Today article said fulfilling rebound relationships. In other words, if you move on to a rebound relationship and it becomes unfulfilling, you're not gonna really get much out of it. So here's another interesting thing you may not know about my research with my success stories. One of the number one things that they said that helped them with their success is that emotional control, or getting to a point where they don't care about getting their ex back anymore. The other interesting trend I began to notice is the inclusion of going on dates. It creates jealousy and also creates this fear of loss. So believe it or not, if you want to deal with the breakup in the right way, to leave your options open for helping you get over your ex, but at the same time helping you make your ex more attracted to you, it's important for you to go on a date but don't get into a rebound relationship. Therefore, you can kind of get the best of both worlds. Usually, if you're reeling from the breakup, if you're going to Google, you're searching YouTube for advice on how to deal with the breakup, you're probably romanticizing that breakup. Maybe not so much at the end of the breakup where things are bad, but you're thinking so much about it that you can only focus on the positive aspects as opposed to the negative ones. This can make it difficult when you actually get into a relationship with someone new, especially if it's a rebound, for you to not really have a great comparison with that new person. In other words, you're with the new person, but you can only think about your ex. This is actually going to make it harder for you to get over your breakup and even get your ex back. So my advice to you is go on Tinder, go on a date, and then leave it at that. That way you can get the best of both worlds. Now, I understand this may sound counterintuitive, but what it will do is allow you to help get over the breakup by going on a date and distracting yourself with someone else, but also not run the risk of getting into a rebound relationship, being unsatisfied and focusing so much on your ex. Complicated, but hey, that's what the research suggests. Hey there, thank you so much for getting to the end of this video. Hopefully you got some clarity on how to deal with your breakup. Now, if you haven't already, probably the best place to start is to hop by our website, www.exboyfriendrecovery.com, and take the Ex Recovery Chances quiz I was talking about at the beginning of the video. All you have to do if you want to take the quiz is simply look in the description link below this YouTube video and click it. It's free, takes 2 minutes, and you'll get at least some direction. Also, if you haven't already, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you.